Your top stories this evening sponsored by Courts Bringing Value Home. No collusion between MOHAMEDS and Venezuela. Venezuelan ambassador PHILLIPS and JAGDEO sworn in as Prime Minister and Vice President. PPPC government will have its way while opposition will have a say. Political analyst RONALD Austin Jr. And exhibitors showcase indigenous cuisine, craft and culture at Whirlwind Village as part of Heritage Month celebrations. HGP Nightly News begins now. Good evening to our viewers here in Guyana and online. I'm ALETHEA Grant with the Tuesday 9th September 2025 edition of the HGP Nightly News. This is what you should know this evening. Any collusion between the MOHAMEDS family and the Nicolas Maduro regime has been dismissed by the Venezuelan ambassador. Travis Chase is on that story.
Venezuela's ambassador to Guyana, Carlos Amador Perez Silvia, has put a dent in the People's Progressive Party's civic government's narrative that there exists a collusion between leader of the We Invest in Nationhood leader Azzedine Mohammed and his father Nizar Shell Mohammed and the Maduro regime.
Is there any collusion between the Mohammeds and Venezuela concerning the security of Guyana?
No. Why do you say that? No. Collusion in what sense?
Well, that's what we are hearing domestically here.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Asked about whether Azzedine and his father, Shell Mohammed, had sought Venezuelan visas, the ambassador responded.
I don't have any comments on that, because in any case, the Embassy of Venezuela is open to all the Guyanese and Venezuelan here. And if the person is going to do any kind of transaction, this is internally at the embassy. Other than that, I don't have any comments in that.
It was United States Republican Congressman Carlos Jimenez who had said on X, formerly Twitter, that, quote, Congress is alarmed by the regime in Venezuela's attempt to undermine Guyana through its pro-Maduro puppet candidate Azzedine Mohammed, who is sanctioned by OFAC. The Western Hemisphere must remain a stronghold of freedom, not a breeding ground for communist dictatorships, unquote. General Secretary of the PPPC and Vice President JAGDEO tried to create the narrative that the Mohammed family was trying to flee Guyana. According to the Venezuelan ambassador, anyone's visit to the embassy should be private.
As I say, if you go to do a transaction, this is between the embassy and the person, any consular transaction or whatever information of Venezuela. But besides of that, I can tell you because I have to respect the privacy of the people that go into the embassy.
Mr. Mohammed has once again dismissed such a claim by the PPPC. Quote, conveniently, these utterances come post-elections, proving here again that the PPP deliberately peddled distortion and scare tactics to mislead voters, Mohammed said. Travis Chase, HGP Nightly News.
Brigadier retired Mark Phillips and Barrett Jagdeo have once again taken up two of Guyana's highest offices as President Irfaan Ali on Monday reaffirmed their roles as Prime Minister and Vice President, emphasizing that their proven track records will guide the nation's next phase of development. Tiana Cole has that story.
Brigadier retired Mark Phillips and Barrett Jagdeo were officially sworn in as Prime Minister and Vice President, respectively, on Monday at the office of the President by President Irfaan Ali, in keeping with constitutional authorities. The two men previously served in the Ali-led administration during the 2020 to 2025 term. In his remarks, President Ali identified Prime Minister Phillips as the best candidate for the position, noting that he inspired members across the government structure with his commitment and dedication to serve.
In those years, he stood as a pillar of strength and competence. He handled his expansive portfolio not just with efficiency, but with a masterful command that instilled confidence across the government and throughout the nation.
Turning his attention to the vice president, the head of state said JAGDEO's record speaks volumes about his contribution to Guyana.
To speak of Dr. JAGDEO is to speak of a lifetime devoted to the socio-economic and political well-being of our nation. His story is one of unparalleled achievement.
President Ali Farda commended JAGDEO for his lifelong dedication to Guyana's development.
In my first term, I came to rely on his expert and wise counsel as my vice president. His grasp for complex issues, his foresight in policy making, and his profound understanding of both local dynamics and global economics are nothing short of extraordinary.
The president added that these appointments represent the first of many in the public service and reflect his commitment to placing the reins of our nation's development in the most capable hands that have been tried, tested, and proven in the eyes of public service. Tiana Cole reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
With the People's Progressive Party civic set to enjoy a majority in Parliament, one historian and policy analyst is of the staunch view that the incumbent will have its way, while the parliamentary opposition will just have a say. Antonio Day reports.
Following the Guyana Election Commission's declaration that the People's Progressive Party Civic are the winners of the just concluded general and regional elections, with the party attaining 36 seats, followed by We Invest in Nationhood 16, a Partnership for National Unity 12, and for Guyana, 1 seat. Some political analysts worry that because the incumbent holds a majority, it may very well try to attempt to abuse that authority. Ronald Austin Jr. stated in an exclusive interview with Nightly News that given the current state of affairs, it is challenging to see legislative changes at the level of the opposition, since it will only be capable of verbalizing their concerns.
At the end of the day, the realpolitik is the opposition will have their say and the government obviously will have their way.
Austin Jr., a historian, policy analyst, and political commentator, said that he will not question whether the government would adhere to the tenets of democracy, but is aware that they will move ahead with or without the support of the parliamentary opposition.
There's no incentive for the government to pander to the opposition or to engage in any deal making. They have a bulletproof 7 seats, which the masses have delivered to them.
The policy analyst told Nightly News that the only efficacy he foresees for the parliamentary opposition is all 3 political parties getting to engage on the critical matters and to hold the government accountable when there is a need to do so. He, however, noted that the importance of the main opposition, WIN and other parties, APNU and FGM, were together with the incumbent on matters of national importance. He described an incident from the previous 12 Parliament that, in his opinion, needed the backing of the parliamentary opposition, which at the time consisted of the APNU and AFC.
The issue of the border controversy came up. The opposition leader declined to support the government, and that was a massive historical development.
The historian pointed out that although it is crucial that these political leaders cooperate, the government, which holds a majority of seats, is unconcerned because it has the authority to approve bills, amend laws, and add fiscal supplements. Antonio Day reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
More news after this break. Stay with us.
Welcome to SNL Electrical Inc., where lighting and electrical needs are met with expertise and style. From the latest in electrical lamps to durable cables, circuit breakers, panels, we have it all. Illuminate your space with our elegant chandeliers, stunning crystal lights, and versatile pole lights. Looking to upgrade your comfort? Explore top-of-the-line AC units and our diverse selections of stylish styles. Visit us at 170-180 Thomas Street, Kitty, Georgetown. Discover a solution that not only lights up your world but transforms it. Call us on telephone number 226-3018 or 223-1634. SNL Electrical Inc. Powering your life with elegance, quality.
Did you tell him that Danny went to pick up KFC?
No, wait a minute.
Are we really not going to tell him we already have KFC?
A tasty dinner shouldn't be that complicated. Crunch the routine and order a delicious KFC bucket for the best price. KFC, it's finger-licking good.
It's sippy out. It's sippy out. Sippy away all. Man, girl and boy. Feel the sippy and joy from every nation. In the Caribbean, larger than life. We're building legends in this Caribbean nation. We're all in. It's sippy out.
We're all in. Republic Bank, title sponsor and official bank of the Republic Bank Caribbean Premier League.
With the HGP Nightly News, President Irfan Ali is on a war path to end domestic and gender-based violence as they are spiraling out of control. The president on Sunday vowed to kill the scourge. Marvin Cato reports.
Femicide is a serious issue affecting Guyana, and Forward Guyana's presidential candidate Amanzo Walton Desir made this issue front and center on our campaign. This issue has now made its way onto the agenda of the People's Progressive Party Civic, with President Irfan Ali in his inauguration day address to the nation vowing to end this scourge.
Provide more scholarship and create greater employment opportunities. And we will intensify our fight against domestic violence. We must kill this now.
In his address after taking the oath of office on Sunday, President Ali said his government will be empowering women. It should also be noted that the Assembly for Liberty and Prosperity ALP leader Simona Brooms, during her campaign, also pointed out that women issues, including domestic violence, was front and center of her plans.
Women will remove taxes on personal health and hygiene products. We'll build daycare and night care centers to support working mothers.
From January to late August, 13 women lost their lives in domestic violence encounters. In January, 16-year-old Janielle David was beaten to death and left in a hammock in Region 1 by her partner Ian Moore. The month of April saw 5 women losing their lives. Mezona Ronaldo was set on fire by her partner, Kevin Cadogan, and subsequently succumbed to her injuries. Also in April, Maylene LaCruz, her sister Suana LaCruz, and their mother, Waveney LaCruz, lost their lives at the hands of her ex-partner, Parmanan Ramdiol, when he shot them at their Warrakaba village, Suicide Linden Highway. In August, Tikadi Solomon was shot at least 10 times by her husband, Alroy Solomon, who then turned the weapon on himself, ending his life. He also shot their son during the ordeal. In the same month, 45-year-old Bibi Shadiza Anif was stabbed to death by her ex-husband, Martin True.
We'll empower our women our elderly, and our youth.
Marvin Cato reporting for HGP Nightly News.
Meanwhile, President Irfan Ali has reaffirmed Guyana's commitment to deepening ties with the United States, highlighting defense, sovereignty, and regional stability as key priorities during a meeting with senior U.S. officials. Find out more from Tiana Cole.
Following a meeting at State House on Monday where President Irfan Ali met with United States Deputy Assistant Secretary of War, Mr. Joseph M. Umair, the head of state speaking on the sidelines of the swearing-in ceremony for Prime Minister Brigadier Retired Mark Phillips and Vice President JAGDEO, said the engagement was a continuation of ongoing cooperation on defense and security.
It's just reinforcing that collaboration, looking at areas that we will expand the collaboration. And of course, we have had many training programs with the U.S. And looking at expanding training program here in Guyana.
He stressed that regional security was also on the agenda, and Guyana is committed to working with all partners, including the United States, to ensure the country plays its role in combating transnational crime.
Whether it's drug trafficking, human trafficking, smuggling. So we support our partners as they support us in fighting these illicit activities.
During the meeting, President Ali emphasized that the sovereignty and defense of Guyana remain central priorities for his government. On Sunday, during his inaugural speech, President Ali pledged that his government will ensure the safety of the nation by building the strongest and most modern defense system in Guyana's history, one designed to safeguard sovereignty and territorial integrity.
We'll deepen partnership with friendly nations, strengthen ties of security cooperation, and continue to repose our faith in the rule of international law, including the peaceful settlement of disputes.
He further added that national security also entails modernizing and strengthening the police, prison, and fire services by equipping them with the necessary tools, training, and resources to serve with greater efficiency, professionalism, and trust.
In this way, Guyana will stand strong, stable, and secure.
Tiana Cole reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
In a strong opposition of the Ministry of Labor's performance, Assembly for Liberty and Prosperity leader Simona Brooms is seeking urgent action to address workers' rights, occupational safety, and respect for international labor conventions. Jada June reports.
Simona Brooms, a prominent advocate for workers' rights and leader of the Assembly for Liberty and Prosperity, is calling for an immediate and united effort to reform labor relations in Guyana. In a passionate address on her Facebook Live, Brooms criticized the Ministry of Labor for neglecting workers across industries and failing to enforce critical occupational safety and health standards. Brooms stressed on the importance of honoring international conventions and domestic laws that safeguard workers.
It would be nothing more fitting at this time than for all of us to sit down and for, as a people, to understand and embrace our labor relations.
She further accused Labor Minister Joseph Hamilton of failing to protect workers during his tenure, highlighting the neglect that left workers vulnerable regardless of their profession or workplace.
I believe for the past 5 years, the Ministry of Labor definitely under the minister there, Hamilton, has failed and failed miserably. Has failed workers right across the board.
The ALP leader said that the government's failure to uphold these laws demonstrates a lack of respect for the working class, adding that Guyana's labor laws are robust but remains unenforced.
The Ministry of Labor has failed our people. And it's a good time for us to correct that.
Brooms urged employers, government officials, and citizens to adapt to the culture of respect for workers' rights.
Because if, as a government, you don't respect the rights and respect the laws that is supposed to guide you and the conventions that we have signed on to, if you don't do that, then we don't have to ask questions what is happening in the private sector.
Calling for a national conversation on labor relations and workplace safety, Brooms encouraged all Guyanese to hold leaders accountable and push for meaningful reforms. It must be mentioned that over the past 5 years, the Minister of Labor did make some accomplishments. In 2024, the ministry conducted 3,131 inspections at various industrial establishments, while in January, $31 million was recovered on behalf of employees. In 2025, a new mobile application called Skills Connect was launched to allow job seekers to browse available jobs while employers can advertise skills needed. Additionally, to promote the prevention of occupational accidents in the workplace, AI is being utilized by the Ministry of Labor. Jada June reporting for HGP Nightly News.
Join us after the break. We have more news for you.
Planning a cleanup? We can help. Sevon's Waste Management skip bins can be provided for home renovation projects, yard cleanup, or construction project. It's simple. Step 1, give us a call. Step 2, we put down the bin. Step 3, load it up with all of your junk. Step 4, we take it away. That's simple. Bins are also available in various sizes, so there is no job that is too big or too small. Call Sevon's Waste Management today at 218-1455.
Mom, did you tell him that Danny went to pick up kids?
No, wait a minute. Are we really not going to tell him we already have KFC?
A tasty dinner shouldn't be that complicated. Crunch the routine and order a delicious KFC bucket for the best price. KFC, it's finger-licking good.
I am an industrial hygienist at ExxonMobil Guyana. I focus on employee health and well-being and develop programs that protect my colleagues. I am one of 1,400 women employed in Guyana's oil and gas industry.
As a local content analyst at ExxonMobil Guyana, I work directly with the local business community. I focus on the numbers, helping Guyana's economy and people benefit from oil and gas. This is what's possible.
Learn more about Rochelle and Ashley's stories and about ExxonMobil's commitment to empowering women in the workplace at www.exxonmobil.com/what-is-possible.
This Saturday and Sunday, come down to Gafour's all-new home and office center, upstairs of the MacDo Mega Complex. We got everything to fix up your place. Recliners, TVs, refrigerators, chandeliers, kitchen appliances, fitness equipment, outdoor furniture, toys, back-to-school bags, all under one roof at prices you can't beat. We open Saturday from 7:30 to 4 and Sunday from 9 to 4. And here it is. You getting 10% off store-wide every Sunday. So don't miss this opportunity to save big. Call 223-9896 or come down this weekend to Gafour's all-new home and office center, upstairs of the MacDo Mega Complex. Gafour's, the name you can trust.
With the HGP Nightly News, as we continue, Guyana is set to make legal and educational history with the establishment of its first ever national law school, a move that promises to eliminate the decades-long need for aspiring Guyanese lawyers to train locally. Jada June has that story.
President Mohamed Irfan Ali made the groundbreaking announcement on Sunday during the swearing-in ceremony at State House, hailing the project as a transformative step for Guyana's education sector.
Our schools will be transformed into modern centers of learning, offering 21st century education, digital tools, and enhanced teaching to prepare our children for the future.
For years, Law graduates have been forced to leave Guyana to earn their legal education certificate, a regional requirement for practicing law, often traveling to Trinidad and Tobago, Jamaica, or the Bahamas. This path carried heavy financial and emotional costs, but President Irfaan Ali said the new law school would change that, reducing expenses and keeping students closer to home.
Based on recent approval granted by the Council for Legal Education, we'll commence work immediately on the establishment of Guyana's very own law school.
Beyond its immediate benefit to students, the school is expected to strengthen Guyana's legal system, expanding the pool of lawyers available for private practice, public service, and judicial roles. Legal experts believe the initiative will also improve access to justice in remote regions where attorney shortages exist,
thereby enabling hundreds of persons to qualify as attorney at law right here in Guyana with full rights to practice in CARICOM country.
The project forms part of the President's broader education agenda, which also includes increased investment in medical and engineering training, the creation of 200 new educational spaces across the Region 2, 3, 6, and 9, and a push for vocational and online learning opportunities. The law school represents one of the most ambitious education ventures in the nation's history, marking a major milestone for aspiring lawyers who have long faced barriers to entering the profession. JAGDEO reporting for HGP Nightly News.
President Irfaan Ali has recommitted to slashing Guyana's and CARICOM's food import bill. He said he will advance food production resilience and will create new shipping and air links for trade. Marvin Cato has that story.
Guyana's 9th President Irfaan Ali has recommitted to accelerating efforts to modernize agriculture and drive trade, with the aim of slashing Guyana's and by extension the Caribbean community's CARICOM food import bill. President Ali, who took the oath of office for a second term on Sunday following the September 1 general and regional elections, also returned as the lead head of government with responsibility for agriculture in the CARICOM quasi-cabinet.
We'll accelerate food security and logistics, modernizing agriculture and agro-processing, opening new shipping and air links, and driving down the region's import bill so Caribbean tables are fed by Caribbean farms.
He outlined plans, too, for climate adaptation, building the region's sustainability and resilience, since agriculture depends on good weather and resilient agriculture infrastructure.
We'll strengthen collective resilience through disaster risk financing, shared emergency response, and joint action on climate adaptation. Because when the sea rise or the winds rage, we stand or fall together.
Back in February, the head of state had revealed a holistic framework which aims to overhaul the food systems across the Caribbean. The vision includes plans to strengthen the Caribbean's food supply with the aim of not only safeguarding food security, but also modernizing agricultural infrastructure, integrating technological solutions, and increasing participation from youths and women. Plans also include overcoming the challenges posed by climate change, supply chain disruptions, and the shifting global market landscape. The president had also highlighted 6 strategic projects that will be developed in the collaboration with the Inter-American Institute for Cooperation in Agriculture, ICA, to further enhance the region's agricultural capacity. These include capacity building for Caribbean agriculture extension services, establishing a digital fabrication lab, Fab Lab, diversifying the Caribbean fruit crop industry, bioeconomic model in organic waste management, and improving water security. Marvin Cato reporting for HGP Nightly News.
Activities picked up on Tuesday as several exhibitors showcased indigenous cuisine, craft, and culture at the Whirlwind Village at the National Exhibition Center in Sophia, Georgetown. Nightly News on Tuesday took its cameras to the Whirlwind Village and filed this report.
Igniting unity, celebrating progress, advancing our culture is the theme for Indigenous Heritage Month 2025. When we reflect on the immeasurable contributions that our Indigenous brothers and sisters made in Guyana, we must not take this for granted. Why? Because like every ethnicity, they play a pivotal role in our cultural integration and cultural diversity. Nightly News paid a visit to several booths which were in the process of being set up. Nevertheless, other exhibitors did not hesitate to showcase a wide variety of indigenous delicacies and beverages, such as cassava bread, tuma, paiwari, and potato wang, commonly known as fly wang.
Potato and the calfred. Cassava calfred. That's it for today.
That's it for today.
Yeah.
Which village are you from?
I'm from Santa Rosa Village, Peru.
You guys are from Morocco.
Yes.
And your name is?
My name is Marjorie.
Pardon me?
Marjorie.
Marjorie. Okay.
The paiwari is made from cassava, like leftover cassava. You burn that and so on. You add water. It's almost the same thing, but it's with cassava, right? That's basically the small drinks are here. Later on, we'll have like the kebab sticks, which would be hag, boshkal.
We have paiwari, parakari, kasiri. We have the potato wine, also known as the fly. We have the farine. We have pasok, which is farine and the beef. We have roast fish, chicken, and beef. We
smoke boshkal, smoke beef, I got aymara, and I have bush hog.
How long have you been in the business?
A couple of years.
Couple of years. So it's not your first time coming out here?
No.
Okay. So what has been the response so far from patrons?
Well, it's been good.
Okay. A cultural extravaganza was also hosted on Monday evening at the National Park as part of heritage celebrations. Cultural evenings will conclude at the Whirlwind Village in Sophia on Thursday. The life and works of Guyana's first Indigenous parliamentarian, Stephen Campbell, will be honored on Wednesday, September 10, while the art exhibition opens at Castellani House on September 12. There is also a heritage safari planned for September 14, a school tour, a dinner, a village day in Napi Region 9, and a weekend packed with sporting activities. The month of activities will culminate with Amerindians Got Talent on September 30. Unity is the heart of a thriving community. I'm Antonio Day reporting for the HGP Nightly News from the Sophia Exhibition Center, wishing each and every one of my Indigenous brothers and sisters an enjoyable Heritage Month.
Stay tuned for regional news.
Live the island dream. It's your chance to be one of over 100 winners in the Island Dream promotion. Win your share of more than $1 million in cash and prizes, plus 2 all-inclusive weekend staycations for 2. And that's not all. Score coolers packed with Buster, Turbo, Altitude, and Viva. Just buy any can or bottle of Turbo, Buster, Altitude, or Viva. Find the code starting with BB, then visit at Buster Guyana or Turbo_Caribbean on IG or Facebook for details. The Island Dream, get money. Live the island dream.
Guyana's agriculture sector is growing stronger than ever. Over the past 4 years, Guyana has made remarkable strides, emerging as the only self-sufficient food-producing country in the world. Revenues earned from the oil and gas sector are being reinvested to improve agriculture, to build better roads, upgrade drainage and irrigation systems, and introducing of modern technology to boost food production. Together, these efforts are creating a stronger, more resilient food system for today and for generations to come.
Mom, did you tell him that Danny went to pick up KFC?
No, wait a minute. Are we really not going to tell him we already have KFC?
A tasty dinner shouldn't be that complicated. Crunch the routine and order a delicious KFC bucket for the best price. KFC, it's finger-licking good.
Multiple FPSOs, drill ships, and support vessels. And this is just the beginning. Life offshore has become a reality for many Guyanese in the oil and gas industry. But in the past, we had to travel abroad to complete the necessary offshore survival training. Now, the training is available right here in Georgetown. I'm getting the skills I need and building the career I've always wanted. I'm Max, and this is what's possible.
Learn more about Max's story and how ExxonMobil's investments are benefiting thousands of Guyanese like him at www.exxonmobil.com/what-is-possible.
Brazilian President Lula da Silva criticizes U.S. naval forces in the Caribbean, citing strain that could threaten regional peace. The South American leader expressed concern on Monday over the concentration on U.S. forces seen by some as a possible prelude to an attack on Venezuela. The presence of the armed forces of the largest power in the Caribbean is a factor of tension, Lula said during the opening of a virtual BRICS summit. The U.S. has said its military forces are in the region to counter drug trafficking, but the deployment has been paired with U.S. threats against the government of Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro, whom U.S. President Donald Trump's administration has accused of being closely linked with drug trafficking groups. The Trump administration has provided no evidence for those claims and has often used vague allegations of connections to drug trafficking or criminal groups to justify extraordinary measures both at home and abroad. Last week, the U.S. carried out an unprecedented lethal attack on what the Trump administration said was a boat transporting drugs from Venezuela. Analysts have said that the extrajudicial strike, which killed 11 people, was likely illegal, but U.S. officials have promised to carry out more attacks in the region. Maduro has said that the deployment is part of an effort to depose his government and called on the military and civilians to make preparations for a possible strike. As the Trump administration takes aggressive steps to advance its priorities on issues such as trade, immigration, and drug trafficking, some countries are seeking to bolster ties with powers like China. Addressing the virtual BRICS conference via video call on Monday, Chinese President Xi Jinping called for more cooperation in areas such as technology, finance, and trade, according to the official Chinese news agency Xinhua. Officials from India, a country like Brazil and China that has become a recent target of the Trump administration's severe tariff policies, also called for greater collaboration. The virtual conference took place a week after leaders from China, Russia, India, and other Eurasian nations gathered in Tianjin, China, where they presented a vision for a new international order at a moment of widening rifts between partner nations and the United States. Continuing with news in the region, the Inter-American Development Bank on Monday announced a historic commitment of an estimated $2.5 billion in loans for the next 3 years to strengthen citizen security in Latin America and the Caribbean. It said that the project would focus on promoting community protection, strengthening institutions, and curbing illicit financing. Announced at the Regional Security and Justice Summit organized by the IDB and Argentina's Ministry of National Security, it brought together security and justice authorities, international partners, civil society, and experts for regional dialogue and cooperation. This is the second regional meeting since last year's launch of the Alliance for Security, Justice, and Development in Ecuador. The IDB said that the new task force is a permanent mechanism that can be activated when countries face sudden crises, whether an increase in violence, a surge in human trafficking, or institutional vulnerabilities, to provide advisory teams and short-term action plans to help governments coordinate police prosecutors, prison systems, and other institutions when they need it most. In addition, the IDB is streamlining the preparation and approval processes for technical cooperation projects to support countries more quickly. The new processes will allow technical cooperation for security emergencies to be prepared and approved within 15 days. And finally, in Suriname, according to President Jennifer Gilling Simons, her administration is working to boost foreign exchange profits from the gold industry and intends to meet with industry participants the following week. President Gilling Simons said that the exchange rate appreciation was already visible before the elections and that this trend was accelerated by the significant government spending during the election campaign. We are still seeing pressure on the exchange rate. We know that the government spent a lot of Surinamese money on elections. That always puts pressure on the exchange rate. You can counter that pressure somewhat with a few measures, but that's where the pressure on the exchange rate comes from, she said. President Gilling Simons said that increasing the central bank's foreign exchange reserves is crucial to reducing pressure on the exchange rate and improving economic stability. She reiterated that the gold sector plays a vital role in this offering an immediate opportunity to improve the economic situation in the short term. The head of state noted that revenues from the gold sector, particularly from the small-scale gold mining, have declined significantly in recent years. The gold that leaves the country never returns. That is why Suriname must benefit from every amount of gold that is mined and exported, said Geerling Simons. Thank you for watching. I am Antonio Day. Goodbye for now.
No collusion between MOHAMEDS and Venezuela. Venezuelan ambassador Phillips and JAGDEO sworn in as Prime Minister and Vice President. PPPC government will have its way, while opposition will have a say. Political analyst Ronald Austin Jr. and exhibitors showcase indigenous cuisine, craft and culture at Whirlwind Village as part of Heritage Month celebrations. Those are our major headlines for these stories and more. Please go to our website. It's www.hgptv.com. I'm ALETHEA Grant. Thanks for watching.